This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. Have you ever considered how Rolex keeps track of its watches even after they have been sold? In this video brought to you by the luxury world, we will explore some of the fundamental techniques used by Rolex, unraveling the mystery that has captivated countless watch enthusiasts. If you have yet to subscribe to our channel, we highly recommend doing so now to stay informed about our future video releases. In the lavish domain of high-end watchmaking, Rolex stands as a prominent name. Yet, beneath its flawlessly crafted surfaces and steep price tags lies a hidden realm, the secretive market of pre-owned Rolex timepieces. These coveted watches, often obtained through lengthy waiting lists and clandestine transactions, undergo a mysterious journey from wrist to online listings, their values skyrocketing like inflated balloons. As the difficulty of obtaining Rolex watches increases and their availability remains restricted, the conversation surrounding the sale of a Rolex watch bought from an authorized Rolex retailer has become more prominent. Those less familiar with the Rolex market may be surprised to learn that selling a recently purchased Rolex requires delicacy. The fact is that the Rolex watch market exhibits unique traits. Before delving into how Rolex identifies if you have sold your watch, it is crucial to grasp the distinctive dynamics of the Rolex watch market. The increase in demand for Rolex timepieces has led to an expanding conversation about flippers. These are the individuals who quickly resell their newly obtained watches. Whether this constitutes a significant problem remains a matter of debate. Nonetheless, indications suggest that Rolex is actively seeking to identify those involved in this activity. While only Rolex can verify the validity of such assertions, credible sources have suggested these endeavors. Such actions would not be surprising, given Rolex's dedication to ensuring their watches reach their intended end customers. Some authorized Rolex dealers, while not linked with Rolex, have recruited agents to monitor online platforms where customers sell watches bought from their stores. Occasionally, buyers have encountered restrictions on purchasing further watches from these dealers after their resale of coveted timepieces was discovered. Rolex utilizes three main approaches to detect if a watch has been resold quickly, so let us discuss each one of them. Through authentication. A way in which a Rolex dealer can become aware of the sale of a watch is if someone brings the watch to their store for authentication. This scenario is not uncommon, particularly when the watch is sold locally. For example, suppose you buy a Rolex watch and list it for sale on a local marketplace. If a buyer in your area purchases the watch and later decides to authenticate it, they might opt to visit the same dealer where you originally bought it. In this case, the dealer would discover that you have sold the watch. A comparable situation could occur later, such as when the watch requires servicing or repairs. If the new owner takes the watch to the same dealer for maintenance, the dealer may once again become aware of the watch's resale. To minimize the likelihood of such situations, a strategic tactic is to ensure that the watch you sell ends up in a location distant from where you originally purchased it. This approach is especially pertinent in smaller countries with a restricted number of authorized dealers. If you sell your Rolex locally in such a country, there is a greater possibility that someone might eventually visit the same dealer with the watch. To circumvent this, it can be wise to sell the watch outside your country or region, thereby decreasing the likelihood of it attracting the attention of the original dealer. Tracking. Another way Rolex could potentially uncover if you have sold your watch is through inquiries made by customers to authorized dealers for authentication purposes. This is usually done to verify the authenticity of a newly acquired Rolex. In 2020, Rolex's capability to track such inquiries underwent a notable shift with the introduction of the latest warranty card design. The updated design no longer discloses the name of the original retailer who sold the watch. As a result, it has become increasingly difficult for both Rolex and its dealers to trace a watch's history back to its initial sale. Using the serial number. The predominant method involves identifying a watch through its unique serial number listed online. By utilizing this serial number, Rolex can track down the original authorized dealer that sold the watch and subsequently inform them of the customer's resale. Once the dealer is notified, they may decide to blacklist a customer. This explains why many online advertisements conceal the serial number and discreetly omit information about where the watch was initially purchased. It is not just Rolex itself that monitors watches being sold online. An increasing number of Rolex retailers actively monitor the internet for watches they have previously sold. Some retailers have even hired fresh staff members dedicated to scouring online advertisements, specifically tasked with identifying customers selling their watches and taking appropriate action. Retailers typically focus their efforts on local online marketplaces where their customers are more likely to display these watches. Upon discovering a watch they have sold, a Rolex retailer may opt to blacklist the customer or, at the very least, inform them of their awareness that the watch has been sold. It is important to understand that Rolex cannot track watch sales through the warranty card, as the warranty is tied to the watch itself rather than the individual owner, and it is done for privacy purposes. Consequently, Rolex lacks records or databases indicating when a specific watch has been sold or transferred, distinguishing it from some other watch brands. The dynamics of the Rolex watch market, especially concerning watch flipping practices and the enforcement of regulations by both Rolex and its authorized retailers, are continually evolving. To protect your privacy when selling a Rolex, consider the following practical suggestions. First, avoid disclosing the serial number when advertising your watch online. Conceal the serial number on a warranty card. Next, hide the retailer's name if your warranty card is an older version that includes it. Obscure the purchase date on the warranty card. Also, it is best to refrain from sharing details indicating the original seller and contemplate selling your watch in a different region or even overseas to reduce the likelihood of it being traced back to your original retailer. If the watch is accompanied by an older warranty card, advise the buyer to seek authenticity checks from a different authorized dealer rather than the original one. Rolex aims for its official retailers to sell watches to end consumers who will value and use them over many years. When customers quickly resell their newly acquired Rolex watches, it goes against Rolex's intentions. As Rolex refrains from engaging in the secondary market, its control over the distribution of its watches in the resale market is limited. This presents challenges for individuals genuinely interested in wearing and enjoying specific Rolex models, as obtaining them becomes increasingly challenging. This situation has led to widespread complaints, resulting in dissatisfied customers and frustration with the Rolex brand, which is not beneficial for Rolex. However, from a business perspective, consistent demand exceeding supply can be advantageous, especially for luxury brands, as it enhances the exclusivity and desirability of their products. Rolex cannot determine whether a watch is sold through the warranty card, which is always associated with the watch and not an individual. Unlike other brands such as Audemars Piguet or Cartier, which require you to link the watch to your account, Rolex does not maintain ownership registers that track when a timepiece is sold or transferred. The current state of the Rolex watch market, encompassing issues like flipping and the enforcement of regulations by both official Rolex retailers and Rolex itself, remains dynamic. Whether Rolex knows about a flipped watch depends on several factors and might remain unknown in many cases. With that, the main key takeaway from this topic is that selling a Rolex shortly after purchase might attract unwanted attention, especially if done openly, and could potentially affect future relationships with ADs. What are your impressions on the topic we shared in this video? We would like to see your answers and opinions in the comments section. If you liked this video, let us know that too. Remember to follow us too and give us a thumbs up. Once again, this is the Luxury World, and we look forward to seeing you again in our future videos.